Getting in the back is where we belong. Kicking knowledge, soak it up, and we stay strong. From by six, spit truth, that's our flow. Alpha Rule, raw, high, law, dog, let's go. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, that's our motto. In the back of the bus, we shine bright like a logo. Knowledge and experience, we ain't playing games. Fubu, for us, by us, that's how we claim our fame. On the bus, we rise above. Gotta show 'em what we're made of. Knowledge, experience, and unity, with a voice of the community. Yeah.
Welcome everybody to Back of the Bus. We got it again. You know what I'm saying? We here with we got a outstanding guest. We appreciate him sharing his time with us. His name is Coach Hayes. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, baby. How you doing, man? I'm glad to be on the back of the bus. I'm usually driving that thing, but now I'm back here.
We're gonna let you drive it today, and everybody
I'm back
knows
with the delinquents. Let's ride.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And y'all already know us that with the Back of the Bus crew. We got my man Law Dog, we got my man Alpha Rule, and we got myself Raw High. You feel me? It's a blessing to be here today. So let's get it. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into the miseducation of the college football fans. So we're gonna kind of take you guys through a journey from the beginning and when they first got on the field, started playing this game of football, this game that we love, and taking it to the point where, you know what I'm saying, a little professionalism. So we're gonna see how this is gonna rock, man. Y'all stand by us and stay with us, and man, let us know what y'all get in the comments. Let us know how y'all feel about it. So first and foremost, man, Coach Hayes, just tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and your show.
I'm Coach Hayes, man. Coaching about 25 years. Started doing YouTube, man, in COVID like most people. And just kind of been grinding ever since then, man. And I kind of just bring a couple different things from the channel. We break down the top talent in the nation. We call that WREs, which stand for Watch, React, and Evaluate. Of course, I got my beloved Miami Hurricanes show, Canes Talk Live. We also have shout out to Law Dog in the building. We also got Primetime Talk. We talk about that on Wednesdays. I do a daily show now with my man Streeter from Footballville. It's called Hayes Street. So, you know, we look at Coach Hayes Football as a network, and we just try to bring you different shows and different things, man. And so we can touch all different type of people for different varieties when it comes to college football and other sports.
All right, then. And I think Coach Hayes,
that's a sweet way of saying it, Coach. You forgot to mention you are the slayer of all super fans, the foot on neck of all Colt members. You know what I'm saying?
They go shooting again.
Hey, man, I'm your favorite coach. That's all I'm gonna say, dog. There it
what
is.
They say they call you Coach Hates. They call you Coach Hates.
They call me Coach Hates, dog.
When you tell the truth, when you tell the truth for the fans, you know what I'm saying? When you tell the truth for the fans. But man, we're gonna jump right into today, guys. I think, you know, if you all have read the title of this show, it's called The Miseducation of the Football Fan, because I think what happens is though, when we watch this game of football that we dearly love, especially the college game and the NFL game, I think what happens is that we lose particular type of perspective, and or if you don't have that, what we do is that we fish, or we assume or make assumptions that things are a little bit easier than what they are. I think most of us go through our trials and tribulations in life, and you know, individuals that play this game on this particular level, college football and in the NFL, you know, it's a lot of hoops that they must jump through. So we got guys right here that have extensive knowledge in the game and knows what it takes, and the simple and the minor accomplishments that in the grand scheme of things, it's a very large accomplishment. And I think when we go through this today, I hope that it gives you all a better eyesight and a better appreciation for what these young men go through to get to the point of where they at. So let's jump off of it first. So Alpha Rule, I'll start with you. You know what I'm saying? When did you first start playing this game of football?
Man, when I was younger, I was probably, my best sport was baseball. The sport I played the most was basketball because it was accessible. And football was pretty easy. I wanted to play Pop Warner. I was trying to play Pop Warner. My mom wouldn't let me. Then 8th grade, she allowed me to do it. I went out. At that time, I played for Baldwin Hills in Los Angeles, and they had like this jamboree. They got all the kids, and you actually went through a combine. You had to run, you had to sprint. Because they actually had a draft and they created their teams, right? I did well. So before the first game, I made on my team, got my team. At that time, I was playing D-line. I was always been a pretty big kid. Broke my hand before the first game, so I never played Pop Warner. Never played Pop Warner. But what was so interesting about that time period when we have those Pop Warner jamborees in Los Angeles, all the high school coaches come out, especially for the 7th and 8th graders because they're getting ready for high school. And my home school was Dorsey at the time, a real popular school in Los Angeles. Baldwin Hills is a place called the Jungle and Dorsey and all that stuff, right? I thought I was going to go to Dorsey, but the Granada Hills coach liked me, but I had to get bussed out there. So that's what my first time ever playing football was in high school. So I tell parents all the time, just because your kid doesn't play Pop Warner playing Pop Warner does not transition or does not translate to you being a good high school football player. I've seen a ton of kids that played Pop Warner. By the time they got into high school, they can't even make the team. So that was my first beginnings of football. Was me freshman year playing fullback, starting at fullback. Never played football in my life. I was just a big, aggressive kid that wasn't scared to hit. That's all I knew. I didn't know anything else.
Back. Okay. Law Dog, tell us a little bit about yourself, bro. What is it? When did you first start this game?
Kind of similar. My first sport was baseball through my granddad. He was a baseball player. Game was too slow for me from the beginning. Like, I just couldn't get with hitting the ball off the tee. Only thing I want to do is slide when I get to home, So after I got used to that, I was through with it. So then it was football. And so down here in Georgia, there's a couple different ways you can play. Like, you either can play by weight or age. And so me being big, I was like 4. It was either 4 or 5. So I had to play with like 6 and 7 because I was playing by weight. And then eventually I never really caught up until I started playing by age. And so before the games, I used to have to run around with a trash bag. I was taking had me taking diet pills. I couldn't eat the night before the game. So football is serious down here. Like, from little league all the way up, it's a serious sport, And it's kind of similar to like put you in the mind of like the Friday Night Tights or the stuff with Uncle Luke, where the park shut down, the games is going. So I played from the age of 5, and then I played on the other side of town, and I played at Glenwood. Then I went to Central DeKalb, and so I played AAU ball as well. So when I started playing with the Pacific AAU team, a couple of them had football players, and went over there with them. And then I played all the way up into middle school, high school, and college, and I had a little short stint in the league. So I've been playing all my life. Really, that's really all I know. But I played basketball all the way up into 10th grade, and my coach told me, "Listen here, man, you 6'3". Ain't no reason 6'3", 6'4". What you doing down there in the post? They gonna smack that shit off the glass, man. Come on and come in this weight room in the off season." And so that was it. So I was a 2-sport athlete for the most part. And then
I got you. And Coach Hayes, tell us a little bit about yourself, bro.
I mean, same thing. You start off in the parks. We called it Optimus back in the day. We didn't even have Pop Warner. I don't even know what Optimus meant, why they called it that, but that's what it was called. In that sense, but it was about pounds, right? You played for the 80 pounds. That's where you started off. Then the 90 pounds, the 95s, the 100, the 110s, like that. And it went all the way up to the 150s, 155, something like that. And we don't have in South Florida, we didn't have middle school ball. So you stay in those parks all the way until you go to high school,
Right. Same with us.
Yeah. So those are the type of things, man. You grow up, the garbage bag law. I get it. You used to run around and chilly to be laughing because you crunching when you run. Because you trying to make weight. Coach got you in there. You're a shorty in there. You in your bell draws.
Yeah.
Because that scale tipping, boy. You know what I mean? As soon as you make weight, boy, you get about 10 hot dogs.
Yeah, you can eat. I was trying to eat at halftime.
And you can eat, man. So those kind of things, man. Fun growing up. Of course, you play street ball as well and all that stuff. Growing up in the neighborhood, we used to play neighborhood, that kind of stuff. And then you go into high school, the same thing, man. So that's just what it was, man. And then got into coaching. actually I started coaching in Virginia at the Aberdeen Raiders, right? So started coaching at the Aberdeen Raiders, man. Matter of fact, I coached with Allen Iverson's coach, Coach Bearfield.
From Bethel.
No, I was coaching at Aberdeen, but his little league coach was Coach Bearfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Coach Bearfield. But yeah, Allen Iverson went to Bethel High School. But and then that's how it is, man. I've been coaching since I was 22 years old, man. I'm about to be 47. So that's how it is.
Ooh.
Oh, man,
There's a lot of experience. There's a lot of experience. Every great strand is a year of coaching, man.
Yeah, bro. Well, I'll tell y'all. Yeah, man, my first memory of the game of football, man. My father took me to watch a college football game, man. As a matter of fact, it was a Miami Hurricane game. Y'all won, actually.
What a pops.
Huh?
I said, what
Shout
a
out
pops.
to your dad. Shout out to
Yeah. Appreciate it, bro. I think it was. I think Miami Hurricanes. Y'all beat us 51-7. But and you know that's where I fell in love with the game. Now, where I gained a lot of my vast knowledge. You know, you played. You know what I'm saying? Y'all call it Pop Warner. We call it Pee Wee. Played Pee Wee. Played. You know what I'm saying? Went into school playing the game of football. Bro, I played basketball. I thought I was good at that too. Started out knocking spokes out of bike rims, hammering them on the side of trees and playing right there. You know what I'm saying? With no backboard. Y'all probably don't know nothing about that.
Oh,
But-
we do.
Well, I ain't know that's a new right there. Now we did crates. I ain't know about the spokes. That's a new one right there.
Y'all
bro.
didn't knock spokes out of the bike rim?
Nah, we knocked the crate out the bike with the screwdriver and the hammer. But anyway,
see,
go
my
ahead.
grandma, we had NBA regulation.
Oh,
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. We man, I'll never forget, bro. We knocked them spokes out of bike rims, man. Hammer them up on the side of the tree, or wherever you can hammer them up and play. You feel me? And man, I started sports that way. And man, we used to be on Sundays. We would have everybody over, family members or whatever the case may be. Man, they'd run games on Sundays after church. And during that time period, I was too young. So what I did is that I think I was before my time, and I thought I was more of a mature person, man. I always wanted to hang out with the big folks, right? So what helped broaden my knowledge on the game, because when you playing in Pee Wee, junior high, whatever the case may be, you ain't really learning nothing. You just out there running up and down. And I thought I was fast. My father played football. He was a running back. He was pretty fast. So I kind of I kind of idolized him. And I made an attempt to do the same. And unfortunately, man, I failed miserably. And you know, bro, I can tell you, and that's why a lot of times with a lot of these players, y'all hear me, I can't understand why, you know what I'm saying, when people new to the game, that you got to be patient with them, because what happens is that when you don't think that you're doing what you're supposed to do, what you end up doing is not investing the amount of time in it when you think you're better than what you was. And that's who I was. So, and so I quit, you know, so I quit the game. I didn't try no more, among other issues that I dealt with that I'm not going to bore you all with. But as a youngster, hanging around older brothers, you know what I'm saying, uncles and father, hearing them talk, you know what I'm saying, I wanted them to be able to respect my opinion. So what I did is, bro, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, you know, when my brother ordered Street Smiths and all that, y'all, Street Smiths, that's how they used
I
to
remember.
do
Yeah,
recruiting
I remember
stuff,
that.
right?
The magazine.
You know what I'm saying? Why you smiling? Why you smiling, Coach?
I remember that. Oh, we had Cal High too. We had Cal High magazine.
You know what I'm
too.
saying? So, man, going through that, bro, I'm sitting there VHS and watching it with my brother, man. I wanted my opinion to be respected when we're talking about the game. Getting home from church, watching the Dallas Cowboys religiously, because we didn't have cable at that. We didn't have cable at first, so you had to watch it on antenna. So, you know, I'm watching the Cowboys. That's the only thing that they showed, and I'm watching in detail, understanding, learning the game, and really that's where my knowledge base came from for the most part. You know what I mean? Reading up and things of that sort. Got to college, luckily. So it was a blessing from God, the fact that I even got in, because I think I graduated from high school with, man, did I have a 2.0? I don't know, barely, if I did, you know what I'm saying?
Sound like me.
But so there, man, you know what I'm saying, hanging around some athletes, bro. And that's kind of how I understand how the college game kind of went. hanging
Mhm.
around some, saying athletes and seeing what they do and messing around with them. But make a long story short, bro, that's really pretty much my history and where it came from. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't nothing special at all, but I think I was a student of the game for the most part. I was you can call me the Arizona, well, to be the new Washington Huskies coach. Me and him kind of went down the same path. So that being said, I hope I didn't bore you all too much. Just give you a little bit of little insight on how I develop my thoughts and when y'all hear me talking and how I get into it and being combative. That's kind of where that comes from. But anyway, man. So
Hey,
let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this. I think we all know the individuals that watch the game of football for the most part. They're watching college football and then watching the NFL, bro. I first like to ask you all, what do y'all think the average fan perspective? Where do y'all think they derive that from? The non-player.
Madden, John Madden.
Man,
Every argument, yeah, I think like a lot of the topics that I hear, I think they just feel like they can get any player, anybody can do this. You should be starting. If you ain't getting 1,000 yards, you ain't ish. On Madden, I was able to run 5 wides, and that's the stuff that I think is just people tend to, especially with social media. You got a lot of people that know enough but don't know enough, and they don't know the true insides and outs of what a recruit is. How do you get a star? When do you get recruited? Oh, you are looking at, they can't even watch film. They can't even tell me if that person is good or not by watching film. I appreciate Coach Hayes and his breakdowns, and he breaks it all the way down and he compares it. And the guys that he give blue checkers compared to the guys that he don't, you can see the difference. Most guys look at film and they see what they want to see. If they see one good play, they feel like, oh, he's a dog because he saw a kid get an interception on a crossing route. That's typical. So what I'm saying is I think people derive a lot of their opinions on stuff that they really don't know, but they guess that it sounds right. Honestly, that's what I hear every day on these channels. They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I feel like it's more or less like highlights or a 30-second clip from Instagram, and then they get in comments, and then the narrative just take off. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I mean, a lot of times when I'm listening, like, so everybody know I used to have this little thing where I kind of like finna see where you at as far as your football knowledge. So I'm gonna ask you where you from, how long you been, who was your team before Colorado, and then I want to know, do you know some of the history of your team? And a lot of people, they get offended by it, but I'm like, I'm really trying to find out who I'm talking to before I get to going. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like just the other night, it was a guy that played like maybe D3 ball, UConn. He ended up cutting on his tape, straight dog ball player, But when we got to talking about the Colorado and more or less the fandom, he really wasn't up on game like it. So I was able to, more or less give him a pass like, okay, bro, I ain't even tripping off your actual knowledge of the game, but you do play the game. So we can see eye to eye on some of it. You see what I'm saying? And so I just think a lot of people just watch clips. And then, with the fan base we're dealing with now, or really for me, because, I was an athlete, so I'm not even used to interacting and seeing fan bases up close and personal. Like, if you playing the game, you hear the chatter, but if you paying attention, you can't be, you're not locked in on what you're supposed to be locked in on, because this game is so much more than just what you see on Saturday and Sunday and Monday night. Man, you spend so much time from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and treatments, and it's so much more than the people get to see. And so now they're getting to see it through, Colorado's eyes, but that's even half of it. That's not even, they're not really showing you everything, which is fine, but I would say social media, in my opinion.
So just to piggyback on that, Law Dog, you're right. When you said when you're an athlete, you don't see it. I played football. I calculated. I want to say I played football for damn near 16 years from when I started to where I finished. It was about a 16-year period of playing football. My first tailgating and football game that I witnessed was last year. Me and my homeboys went to Houston to see CJ Stroud play against Tampa Bay. That was the first time I ever been to a tailgate. Because even homecoming, man, I went to Hampton, bro. Hampton at HBCU. I never experienced homecoming. Because
Right.
when you're a football player, you in at night. The night before the game, you ain't out there at the step shows.
There's no
Not
way.
with Coach Taylor. Not with Coach Taylor. Coach Taylor ain't having that, bro.
No
You-
way.
yeah, I know Coach Hayden, know Coach Taylor. He ain't having that, dude.
Yeah.
So exactly right. As an athlete, you don't understand fan bases or fandom until you try to let yourself go there. Because like right now, I don't have an NFL favorite NFL team. I don't. I used to growing up, and I kind of missed that. I was a Chicago Bears, Mike Singletary fan. I miss being
Yeah.
just a kid, wanting to, loving football. But as you play it, then it just becomes something that you do, and it's just
Yeah.
a part of the job.
I don't even like sitting in the stands. Like I go to football games and be like, I can't. This shit is weird. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
supposed to
I
be
don't know,
doing
I
something.
can't-
Bro.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't. I'd rather watch it from home.
Right.
Like I
I
can't
got
sit in
you.
the stands and
I-
actually. I don't know. It's just something. It's weird to me. I don't know why, but I just can't. It's not my thing. But I go
Bro.
to a game, but sitting in the stands is just weird.
Yeah, I feel you, dog. Like I actually hate going to football games, and I say
Yeah.
that because I've been to so many games in my life. You know what I mean? And it feels different. But to answer your question, Raw, I think it's three different things when you talk about how people look at it. One is you have a lot of fans. To Alpha's point, they play the video game and they think that's what it is, right? They just hit the R2 button and it's supposed to just juke everybody. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize how hard these games are. They don't realize how talented these athletes are, because, like I always get a basketball analogy. When you see LeBron James and KD out there, you don't realize how tall those guys are until they speak to the lady who interviewed them, and she got to throw the mic way up because they all 6'8", 6'9", 7 foot, and so you don't realize how fast this kid running because everybody out there running fast. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But they look at it through that lens. The second lens is you got the old lens. What do I mean? The days in which you played back in the 80s or 90s is not the same as 2024, right? The way linebackers play today is not the same they played back then. Why? You don't have the
Right.
eye back. You don't have that. So they're still referencing their experience. And so you can't tell them because they was All-American in 1987. You're going to tell them in 2024, bro, you don't even see linebacker with the neck roll no more, right? They don't even sell it. The game done changed. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? And that's part of this thing too, where sometimes people get thrown off in that sense, man. And then when it comes to recruiting has changed drastically.
Yeah.
Like you said, y'all was talking about the magazine, bro. Huddle came out. There's no more such thing as regional recruits, local recruit, regional recruit, national recruits. Everybody a national recruit now. Everybody.
I have VHS, dog. I have VHS. Real talk.
Yeah, but I'm saying like everybody, a kid in California 20 years ago would not have been seen by a kid on the East Coast unless somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody, and it went down the line, right?
Yep.
But like we talk about Chad Johnson is a perfect example. How does he go from Miami to down Oregon State? Well, he went to JUCO out into California. If he was a kid that came out of high school, didn't have to go through the JUCO, because we don't have JUCOs in Florida, what happens? He would have been an East Coast kid somewhere in the southeastern region, something like that. So it's a lot different today. And so those are the three major things that I think that affects a fan base. And when you tell them, or you try to tell them something different, they can't really, it doesn't register to them because they're responding based on their experiences, if that makes sense.
Y'all spoke from that perspective. Let me speak from the perspective of the I guess you could call just a fan, a person that didn't play the game at no high level or anything like that. But I can say this: I think I would agree with you all about video games. I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer that the plays that people make today, the bad football choices. Let's take the Chargers coach, for instance, that just got fired. And, he always want to go for it on fourth down. I believe that because of video games, some of those decisions, we call it analytics. Let's be honest about it. We call it analytics, but I believe what has happened is the advent of video games. That generation has grown older now and they're decision makers. I think the history when there was a kid, because remember when you played video games back in the day, you never punted the ball. They never punted the ball. So I think by, you know, and I know I may sound crazy, I just think by the masses doing that, it made it easier to accept to do it when as an adult. Because I can remember growing up, listening, hearing people say, why not just go for, why not just go for, why not just try? Why not, before they even was doing it? And I'm not just talking about people I'm standing around, I'm talking about people that I've seen on television.
Mhm.
Second, I think I think stats and analytics have dumbed the game down.
Mm.
And I believe that the, you know what I'm saying, understanding what it takes, you know what I'm saying, to accomplish things just simply in the game. Like, I'm a firm believer that analytics, I can't say it right. Analytics
Analytics.
doesn't, I don't think it can truly grasp the type of effort that is put in on a fourth down play. I think that play is different than first, second, and third. And I don't think it compensates for that. So I think the fan base overall has become a more educated from a statistical standpoint, but I feel like they have been removed far from the actual gameplay in itself. I don't know if I explained that well enough, but so
Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
It's almost like social media, and kids can text each other, but they can't talk to each other.
They can't talk. Right.
Yeah.
They'll sit beside each other and take. But
Text.
I think that plays a big role in it.
Yeah, but we saw that in basketball though, Raw. Like we see that now. And I'm not a basketball fan. We got 7-footers shooting threes because they're saying the analytics say the percentage is so small that you missed the 25-footer versus the 26-footer just up back a foot. And you know what I mean? And like you don't have post players anymore, but I'm not gonna get to that tangent. But to your point, analytics, you see these guys with these computers and these Surface Pros on the side, and what does the little computer inside say? But if you watch these older coaches that's successful, these perennial powerhouses, them dudes work off their gut because they have experience. That's something that a computer doesn't have. It's crunching numbers in milliseconds. You crunching 40 years of experience in milliseconds, and that's the difference.
But
I totally agree.
Another thing that's deep is that in sports, the main thing is always the main thing. In basketball is defense, rebounding, and making your free throws. It's just the same. It's the same thing everywhere. Now, how you come about that, analytics can tell you a lot of different ways to get around it. But rebounding and playing defense and making good shots, that's how you win. Just like football, you gotta run the ball. You gotta be able to stop the run. You gotta be able to run the ball for you to be successful at the rate that you want to. Yeah, are there some outliers that throw the ball like Hawaii all day long and never run the ball or can't stop the run and luck up and beat a team? Yeah, it happens. But for the most part, the traditional sense, football is football. Blocking, what is it? Blocking, tackling, and catching the damn ball. That's really what it is. It's just people try to make it I think some coaches and fans try to show just how smart they are. And it sometimes you kind of outsmart yourself. And you just need to just keep it I don't want to use the word keep it simple, but don't forget about the main thing when you're trying to either win games or assess a game.
Yeah, I was just say this fundamentally, and I think that's where the problem is. Fundamentally, things don't change, right? You may have variations, but building a hut and building a mansion fundamentally start with the same process, the foundation.
Yes. Foundation.
Right? You may have better materials for the mansion than sticks and leaves, but if you don't have a foundation, I ain't never seen nobody build a roof and put it up first and then try to go under that. And no, it doesn't work that way. It's just like the wheel. The wheel is round and it's been round forever for the longest. Now you got different tire treads, you got different material, but it's round fundamentally because it's the easiest way to move things. And so, like a train wheel is made out of steel, a car wheel made out of tires, out of rubber. You know what I mean? You got different ways of doing things, but at the end of the day, fundamentally, they're the same. And I think that's where some people see those changes and they realize you could just do it differently. But at the end of the day, like Al-Farouq said, fundamentally is that way for a reason.
Facts. What do you think about it, Law?
I mean, that's why I say I got a particular process when I'm trying to get an understanding with a fan, and we talking about a particular topic, because it's like if your idea of a football or a program is this, and you're seeing this, and you've only watched this, and you've only studied this, then we'll never see it the same. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I don't even lead. I never lead with that. I played ball. Like I feel like that's low hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's too easy. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of try to get perspective with it if I'm trying to make if it's on target with the conversation. But beyond that, it's just like how you guys are talking about the foundation. What's the foundation of a fan? See what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
like it's so much miscommunication. It's like I could be saying blue and you only know turquoise. But I'm like, it's still blue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
And they
variation.
like, no, turquoise is you've never seen it before.
Right.
It's next level, it's innovative. And I'm like, bro, everybody doing that shit. You
Yeah.
just
Right.
get to see it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so I don't know, you know, it's give or take as far as whatever, you know, whoever you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like if you're a fan, you're a fan, you know?
Right.
But
Right.
if you don't understand, let's get to saying I don't understand, I don't know.
Right.
Instead of playing like you know.
Right. Yeah. I'll top it off and move on from there. When I'm talking to when I'm having conversation with people, right, I like to know where they base their thoughts and their beliefs on, and how they draw the particular type of conclusions. I really typically, when I'm having conversation with people, I'm not talking about the instance itself, but I'm more so talking about the philosophy of how they drew that particular point. You know, I mean, we get instances. There's 1,000 different variations of how something can be done, but the question is, what's your philosophy? Which, you know what I'm saying, which means, like, with some coaches, you want to know what do they believe in, what type of football team that they want, and how do you become successful within that particular philosophy. If it is tough nose defense, running the ball, physicality, then you can move on from that. What I found is that in today, it's like people have thrown away the physicality part of football. You know, I think when I talk to people, if they can spout out a particular type of stat, they feel as if they are well versed, right, in the sport. And I don't think may necessarily be the case. But that's neither here nor there. Let's move on. So in this new environment in college football, guys, in this new environment, you know, we got the transfer portal, we got NIL. You know, they just approved the rule where you can transfer multiple times. I guess my question to you all is, how do you feel about the multiple transfers? And two, do you think in this environment you can truly build a good program? You
Yeah,
go ahead, Al.
I would say yeah. I would say if so. Building a program really is, you got, just like your girl really flawed, is it building a team, building a program. The difference between building a team and building a program, the sauce is added is culture. What you're trying to ask is, what is the culture of your team? Like, we've seen a lot of, man, me, Law Dog, we talk about different teams that we see online, and we see how they doing it, and how people aren't leaving that particular school and they're adding pieces. We talk about Utah all the time. How come he can create that situation and be successful constantly, whether you felt like he was a G5 before Rawhide or not? He still has had successful seasons for what he has. It's the same environment. So what did he do and what did he create? I really think it comes down to the culture that you create. And in the transfer portal era, if you constantly bringing people in and bringing people out, it's hard to build whatever culture you're trying to have, because there's really no leaders there. Because now everybody, like I gave an analogy. If there's a kennel full of dogs and you throw some red meat in that kennel, everybody's trying to eat. Everybody's trying to eat. So it's just gonna be a free fall, and it's gonna be blood, and some dogs might get bit. Another dog might bite another dog thinking that's a steak that it's trying to bite, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you create that environment, it's not dog eat dog. It's not even like that in the pros. And they keep talking about, a lot of people keep talking about it's like the pros. No, bro, there's people have been on teams for years. I played with Willie Rove, Larry. I mean, I played with guys that's like pillars. Emmitt Smith played with pillars that you knew. They told you the culture. Okay, when you got here, this is when practice is, and they don't even have to say it. They just do it, and you just follow behind them because you see they've been there for damn near forever. So I just don't know if you can do it if you utilize it a certain way. I think you can do it if you have a way in which you do it, but it's going to be really difficult to just make everything a transactional type of situation. It's just hard.
Now, Coach Hayes, I know you cover Miami, right? And you know, me and you, we had some discussion about Miami, and I get how you feel about it. But when we're talking about building a particular type of program in today's environment, do you know, just even coming from the Miami perspective, do you believe that the Miami Hurricanes is doing that? It is building a particular culture and a program, and if so, how, or if not, what do you think they're missing?
All right, here's what I'll say. I'll kind of answer these backwards. Like, I kind of disagree with this just transfer willy-nilly. I think it's going to be super difficult for anybody to have a program. The thing is, we're living through the transition of this, right? We're not living, for example, we didn't go through the transition of the forward pass, right, in football. We grew up, they were throwing the ball forward. But for the people who lived through it, they were like, that's stupid, right? And now it's the way of the world. Right now, we're living through the transition, so we are the generation of the kind of wait and see how this thing pans out. And I really believe the NCAA said, you know what? I'm tired of y'all coaches up here crabbing so much. I'm gonna give you what you asked for. You want Wild Wild West? Well, here you go. And they're gonna show you better because you got to have some rules. And I know people want the shorties to get paid. I do too, right? But however, the difference when people try to make the NFL comparison, there are contracts in there, right? You can't just walk out because, you know, the Cowboys draft you. Oh, but I'm not playing. Okay, let me go over here to the Jaguar. It just, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way. And so I say all that to say the Alabamas, the Ohio States, those programs, over time, they will lose their culture because because those mainstays that you're talking about will now have a chance to get out, and you'll see that. You'll see it gradually happen. The thing is, their roster's so deep right now, and we're in the middle of this transition period of all of this transferring stuff, and you'll see it starting to level itself out because every year it's only the top 10 are the real gangsters. You know what I mean? Of a league. After that, the 11 through 25 constantly changing around, in my opinion. But now to go back to Miami, I've always thought the transfer portal was a Band-Aid and high school recruiting was stitches, right? You use the transfer portal to fill a hole here or there, right? A guy may leave out. I lost some depth. You know what? One of my guys graduated early, and I need to fill a hole. Now, if guys can just leave in any time they want, you putting the Band-Aid on a bullet wound, bro. You leaking all over the place, and you got to find a way to stop the bleeding. And I just say this, maybe I'm biased because from the coach's perspective. How do you truly create a culture when you and again, it's not about them getting paid. Don't get me twisted. I'm not tripping about them getting paid. I don't care if they got $1 zillion, every one of them. That's not my issue. I'm saying, how can I create a culture if I'm constantly getting new players? It's just like a job. How could Google be successful if every year they're getting new engineers and they're getting because the dude want to leave and he go over there? You know what I'm saying? Does that kind of make sense? I hope that makes sense.
Right, it does. It does.
And then for Cristobal, like you said, you brought up Miami. Yeah, he's trying to build it in that sense. But I think he's falling under the same thing. You're going to see guys leave out. And now he's this mega recruiter. But bro, yeah, once I get you on campus and you have this falsehood in your mind as a not as a freshman. I'm supposed to start because I was a 4-year starter in high school, bro. Like how do you as a coach? I guess that's my question. Is how do you as a coach manage that when? Because the dude is mad I'm not playing right away, but yeah, I got a dude that's 22 years old up here. You supposed to play in front of him, and that's what I think is difficult. So to build a culture, bro, I think it's going to be super hard because kids can just walk up and walk out at any given time. That's just my opinion.
What's up, Law? What you think about it, bro?
I got a whole different take on it. I'm like, the game is the game. The players just change, and you eat what you kill now. And so my thing is, ain't no more that use car salesman shit. Like, you love me, then I sign, and when I get there, I'm just
You
number
stuck.
32. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Ain't no more of that. We both got power now.
Right.
Ain't no telling me I'm competing for this job, and then you bring in this transfer portal dude, and you just stick him in there, and I'm supposed to just eat that because I'm a freshman, or because I'm a sophomore, or me and you might not have the best of relationship, and because during my time, you couldn't just go jump in no portal. If you wanted to transfer, you was finna go sit out somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Sit out a year. You know what I'm saying? And then it's the roller coaster of that, because sitting out is not necessarily good for a football player where you come from all this structure and discipline. We tend to get wild once we get out of the confines of the building. See what I'm saying? And so even with that, you would have to go junior college. That's a whole nother process in itself. Now, I do say it kind of killed the junior college wave. You know what I'm saying? But I do think it opened up more opportunities for the Coastal Carolinas, the Liberties. You know what I'm saying? Because the Caden Salter kid, he was at Tennessee. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so had a few problems, went down there, got it right. Now he got them, you got them at, probably possibly being a playoff contender. But like I say, this is my thing. You got to kind of play it straight with your players now. Like, my thing is this. Like, I would pose the question is, Coach Hayes, Alpha, Rob, how would you build your team? You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, you got culture, right? But now you got to hire strong men around you too. Not ones that just going to tell you or the players what they want to hear once you get them there. See what I'm saying? Because now a lot of times what happens is we get a player, now we got him. You know what I'm saying? So he's here.
Right.
And so you're going to go through growing pains, whatever the case may be. It's always going to be somebody getting arrested, not showing up to class, not, whatever the case may be, right? All that with it. But it's just like the same thing that's coming is the same thing that's going. But the ones that's special, you got to take care of them. You know what I'm saying? It's been way too long to where, like, the politics of the game overruled what's really going on in the building. If you've been in that building, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Coach Hayes, Alpha, like, y'all know how the politics will play out. And you'll be like, damn, you'll never imagine what's going on in this building. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you a lot of times, like, from my experience, the best players, I don't think you've never really seen them. A lot of them be on the sideline or suspended, or the coach don't like them, or it's a grade thing and he get caught up in the whirlwind of, I can't go nowhere, I feel trapped, and you kind of lose the love for the game. A lot of players go out like that. Like, you lose the passion for it because it's like you feel trapped. And so I know for as it sits right now, it's so wide open. So I'm for it, because at the end of the day, like, when it comes to the money, I'm pro, like, listen, young homie, when we talked about, you got the ones that play middle school, right? So the ones that play middle school, I think, like Alpha said, where the guy that was the man in the Park League, a Little League, and Optimist, he get to middle school, he not the guy no more. Then the guy that was in middle school, get to high school, he might not be the guy no more, right? Then most kids want to go D1, right? That get even slimmer. You see what I'm saying? So if you get D1 in the bag there and the opportunity is there, go collect, young homie. Because going to the league, you might not never get 250 or 100.
It's slim.
You might not never see that. You know what I'm saying? Whether you go get a degree, because most athletes, man, we not putting in a position to go get no real opportunity unless your mindset is there as far as getting that degree in that paper. They're gonna put you in specific classes to make sure you graduate, and that's about it. Then once you graduate and the league don't work out, you got things that turn into trainers to go chase they got the UFL, CFL, and all them leagues now. But a lot of times you get stuck. You see what I'm saying? So if you could walk away with a little something and a piece of paper, if you get what I'm saying, you'll be all right. These coaches, they get fired and go home with 17 million, 20 million. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
70.
It's great.
70.
72.
Chilling at the crib fishing.
Hold on. Don't
It
cheat.
is what it is. Your family good.
72 million.
Yeah,
There you
know
go.
what I'm saying?
You're right.
So
So
that's
I'm
my-
glad you, but I'm glad you brought that up, Law. I'm glad you brought that up. So I wanted to share some stats with the audience. So, 1.6% of college players that are draft eligible get it. 1.6% of draft eligible players actually make it to the NFL every year. 1.6%. Another one is high school players that actually get a scholarship that play football is 2% nationwide. 2% of all the kids that play football get a scholarship. That doesn't mean D1. It could be D2. It could be NAIA. Only 2% of kids actually get a scholarship that comes out of high school. Another thing, because we'll talk about it, percent of freshmen that start in college. Only 2.8% of all the freshmen in college actually start across the nation, from the big schools to the small schools. And the last one that's pretty interesting, because we've had these conversations about freshmen don't mean nothing and how special are they, regardless if they get on the field is special, let alone get some real burn. 50% of all freshmen in college football are redshirted. 50%. So if you bring in 20 kids, 10 of them gonna get redshirted, and then out of the remaining 10, probably 4 of them gonna actually travel, and maybe 2 of them will actually get on the field. So I just wanted to put those stats out there for the audience, because we're really big on just introducing you guys to exactly how hard it is. So when you sit up there and trash a freshman that's actually doing something that only 2% in the whole entire country is doing, think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying.
Right. And if you don't mind, I'd like to add to the alpha, because I was just talking about this yesterday in the show, and those numbers are very relative. And we all know the whole Kamani thing is going down, and everybody talking about, oh, he a 5-star, he's supposed to start. And that. But what people know, I just pulled this up yesterday. Only 3 out of the 39 5-stars out of that class started. That's Francis Maui Noah, the offensive tackle at Miami, Caleb Downs, the safety that was at Alabama, who is now transferred to Ohio State, and Caden Proctor, who is the offensive lineman from Alabama. So we talking about start. Right, and then he transferred, he ended up transferring back. But we're talking about these are the 5-star represents potential first rounders. And they only start, and that's where I think I was talking about when I say, now that you've opened up this transfer opportunity for them to just go as many times as they want. See, in their mind, I'm supposed to be starting. But even at that level, only 3 of you 5-star potential first rounders, when you walk in at 17, 18, you're still not better than a 4-year 3-star. Because of the experience, because of the age, because of the strength, because of the knowledge of the game has increased. I always get that example about Xavier Weaver and Kamani McLean. Xavier Weaver was a 3-star right here in Orlando. Never heard of this cat. I had never heard of him until he went to Colorado. We used to watch the well-off media. He putting Kamani to sleep. Why? Because he's 5 years ahead of Kamani in size, speed, ability, technique, fundamentals. But that's the misconception of the fan that we're talking about. But it's also the misconception of the player. Right. I'm a 5-star. And that's where you go from being the man to being a man. And I'm not saying that you're not going to be good. I'm not saying that you're not going to get some spot play. But there is a hierarchy in there, and there's a reason. There's a reason 17 and a 22-year-old. You understand what I'm saying? 21-year-old cat. It doesn't mean you won't come in, play, contribute, or whatever. But we're talking about, think about what you just said. Only 3 were considered 12-game starters.
Right.
But you know what, Coach Hayes? I think that what happens is when we talk about the miseducation of the fan, I think I think what happened is me and you had a conversation, right? I mean, and we were just speaking about the younger guys that's going into college or being recruited, and you made a statement mentioning that they don't even really watch the game,
No.
and yeah, they don't even really watch it. So I think as fans, I think there's levels to it, and most fans that watch the game, they're not watching it and also studying it. Remember, I told y'all guys, bro, I used to, you know what I'm saying, look at these magazines, Street Smiths and all that. So you got to be kind of in it, be trying to go get a Street Smith magazine. You see what I'm saying? And today's the accent, I mean, bro, you got to be kind of in it. You know what I'm saying? But the people people today or fans today, they don't really follow recruiting. They follow their team. They hear about people that they received and how they got it. It's a little bit more easily obtain the information, but I don't even know how much that registers. So when you're watching football as a fan, you know, if you ain't really watching your home team, let's say for instance, you watching somebody, you know what I'm saying, a couple of states away, you're watching the game because it's a good team. You're not dissecting and seeing who freshmen, who ain't freshmen, who sophomores. You're just watching football. And I think in general, people see that. So the general fan, they watch that. They're not focused on that. So when you hear about, you know, you're kind of casual, you hear about, hey, I got this all world, y'all just got this all world guy coming to the team that you care about.
Mm-hmm.
You have a particular type of expectation to think that they supposed to play. But if you ain't in it like that, you don't understand that the sheer fact that they're getting on the field as a freshman is a testament and an accomplishment in itself. And I think that's the disconnect there. Right. Because most fans don't watch it trying to figure out looking at recruiting services and all that. If that was the case, 247 subscription would be $20 a month. That's what it'd be, because it'd be in high demand. So I think that's the problem. And I don't think they do it maliciously. I don't think the fans do it maliciously. I just think that they don't really understand. I've had to defend people, freshmen. I remember defending freshmen. I'm like, you can't call a freshman bad when he's playing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The fact that he's playing is a testament that he good.
Say his name.
Man.
No, I mean it's been multiple though. It's been multiple though.
No, but
talk about Carter Stoudemire. Go ahead and tell him you love old Carter.
Hey, Carter is one of them. Travis Hunter is one of them. JMJ is one. If you want to talk about them, but I ain't want to be Colorado centric. But I'm just saying.
But the fan. So I'm gonna tell you something else. The fan base doesn't know. When you have a road game, all 85, 90 players aren't getting on the plane. There is a travel squad. I remember my freshman year, 1, 2, 3. We only had 3 freshmen on the travel squad. And then I was the only one that played. But just to make the travel squad, you were like, okay, I made the travel squad. I don't know if it was like that for you, Law Dog, at your places. But a lot of fans don't know that. Well,
so here's what I say to your point. You're 100% right. And I think that's the miseducation is they so used to little Johnny being the man from 5 years old, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? When he was in 9th grade, he started as a 9th grader and he ate it up. He started as a 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. He's all county this, all state that, all this. So why am I now not starting as a freshman? And they don't understand that. And that's that right there is what's hurting, because you remember our day, dog, JV was a real thing. Like 9th grade, you like, them dudes got muscles, bro. I ain't going up there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now these parents and my kid, they're shopping their kid around because their kid don't need to play JV.
Friday night tight.
Yeah, he need to be on varsity.
Right.
But man, you understand? It don't work that way. And then that's the best part too about breaking down these films. I'll just say this last piece. I'm bringing out highlight tapes, and why I did it because I wanted to understand. I wanted people to see, yeah, this is a highlight tape, but there's some low lights in here. There's some things y'all need to know why he did it. Why was he successful, and how can he be better at it? So that's why this is their highlight tape, and I'm looking at it. And I always told people this: game tape takes more scholarships than highlight films have given scholarships. And people don't understand that.
Yeah,
People don't
there you
understand.
go. What's up, Law?
Now I was just gonna say that's I was what Coach Hayes is saying, like even as a player, right? It might be a particular guy, like so on Mondays you get a scouting report. If you or Tuesday, depending on how they set it up, right? So they're gonna tell you it's such and such guy, he's 6'3", 250, all American. If you're on high school list, All American has offers for so and so. They got a corner, a guy, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have an understanding of who it is you playing and what you need to do to either get your rank up or to establish yourself as I'm the guy. You see what I'm saying? And so a lot of times fans don't understand the complexity of a guy going up and down the star. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times the camp is the big thing. The camp. He went to this camp. He did this at the camp. And that's how they miss on a lot of players. Because it's like, okay, he a track star. Cool. Oh, he can run a L drill or a 3-cone pretty fast. But is that shit translating? Because when I lined up against him in December, I killed him.
That L like you. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it be so you will have this guy that's a 5-star when the 3-star is the guy you really need. That's the guy you want. The 5-star, he's just been burning it up at the camps. You know what I'm saying? But when he put the ads on, that shit, man, it's just I see so much tape and watch so much. I was always like a film junkie, just watching the game, and so I always wanted to study my opponent. But I genuinely just like watching just the nuance of the game and seeing how shit unfold. Like people don't understand. Like if you got contained and the man slid inside, it's something coming back outside. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People might not understand and see that. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's certain responsibilities of the football game that's not gonna change. That's why you may see a play go for 70. You know what I'm saying? Because that means this one guy out of 11 didn't do his job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of things that you seen the dude go make the 60-yard play, but did you see why? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's why I do the breakdown of it, right?
Right.
To your point, and we talked about fundamentals. Fundamentally, football don't change. But guess what? You play broke because your eyes was bad. You got caught up with the fly on the wall, but you saw that guard. You saw that tackle block down. So if he blocked down, and I used to always have a rule: 2 butts equal a ball, right? If I get a down block here, guess what? Somebody pulling there, there go another butt, and the ball coming right through there. But
that's gap scheme.
Yeah, that's gap scheme stuff, man. But yeah, to that point, man, you're 100% right, man. And so, man, be honest with you, I used to do inside run with no football, no running backs. Tell me,
where should the ball be?
Tell me, is it gap scheme? Is it inside zone? Is it outside zone? Based on how that dude was trying to block.
You gotta identify your key.
But guess what? You could tell me what kind of player it was based on how they blocked you. We don't need a football. We don't need a football. Absolutely. That's a distraction right now.
And it's coaching too, because I didn't learn the difference between zone, gap, man, big on big later in college.
Right.
Like understanding of a scheme and like what you actually dealing with. Man, these coaches, like I feel like coaches too, they need to be horrible.
This is true.
That's true. There's some bad ones out there. There's some bad ones out there, man.
Bro, y'all just don't know how lucky y'all are to be able to be featured in the Lindsay's magazine or something like that, bro. Y'all need to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know how good y'all got it, bro. Hey, but you know, I don't know, man. I think that I think we downplay, and I don't think we put enough respect on some of these young men names, man, that get out there and do their thing early, especially early in their college career. I don't think it's not a time to be overly critical, but more so about, you know what I'm saying, commending them and being excited for what you're gonna see in the next year.
Right.
And I think that's a big misunderstanding in this game of football that we watch. So Alpha, you had another point you wanted to cover. What was that?
Oh no. I think they summed it up, man. You know, I definitely want to leave some time for the people to come in and voice their opinion after the show. But my main thing is just to tell the audience that the journey for the athlete the coaches, the family members, the friends, everybody is on this journey. So when you see a parent or a fan either defend or a parent pretty much seem like they take it personal, yeah, all this shit is personal. Every last bit of it. For when my son comes to your school or me as a grown man transferring to your school, there's a couple of conversations that we had. And if those conversations that you told me and that vibe that you gave me, just like Law Dog said, ain't what you told me, now the athlete has the ability to say, I don't have to sit on that shit. I can leave. So the fan base got to get comfortable with that and realize the decisions are made from everyone, from the player and everyone around them. Don't nobody. And another thing, most athletes would prefer for it to work out where they are. That's another thing. That's the misconception. A lot of people think these kids, oh fuck these kids, they just want to bag, they just want to leave. If in a perfect world, they'll be right there playing with their team, starting and scoring touchdowns. That's the perfect world for them. They don't want to go through this shit. But if I gotta go through it, then yeah, I'm gonna do it. Because I ain't gonna sit here for no 2-3 years and just sit out here and waste my time and get case smoked to death. Hell no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it's a two-sided coin, man. Like I was saying.
He said case smoke. My bad. He said case smoke. Free Kavasi smoke.
I ain't even catch that one. You're a wild boy for that. But we was having that conversation that one day where I had when I was talking about like when you were talking about you had the 0.6 GPA with it, right? It's a two-sided coin, right? You gotta kind of play the game. You know what I'm saying? But first and foremost, understand I'm here to play football. Like I hear all the school shit, right? It's not that I know you can't do one without the other, right? You can't be on the field and not be doing school at all, right? It's too much resources. They give you too much to just completely fail or flunk out. You see what I'm saying? And so the thing is, if you balling, everything gets much easier. You see what I'm saying? Like once you become the man, things get relaxed. Maybe not going to study hall. Might not hear too much about it if you just went for 2 touchdowns.
That damn Law Dog, I love it.
I'm saying you might not, you know. So I said it's give and take. That's why I say it's eat what you kill at the same time. But a lot of these times, man, these coaches got egos, man. The politics of the game, man, they get nasty out there, bro. And I feel like a lot of times it's like how it used to be was whatever the coach said it was, that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Whatever little snippet he gave to the media or tidbit he gave to his guy to put out there on the player, if it fell apart behind the scenes, it's nothing the player could say or go out there to do to correct the narrative. You know what I'm saying? He might have to sit a whole year with that on his mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, they'll handle you rough. Behind the scenes, they'll handle you real rough. So,
huh? I said, no, you're not lying. You're not lying. Hey, Law, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Well, those players, like you talked about, right? You got to play the game. You say you got to play the game. And the thing is, I think players don't realize that either, right? Meaning, like I said, you go from being a man where when you was a senior high school, you ain't really have to go to study hall. You go to Miss Johnson class and she go give you a B. Right. But he don't realize you don't have to hit the reset button and start that over. He think that's gonna carry over from high school hallways to college. You haven't earned that right to miss the study hall. Like you say, as you balling, coach might be like, I ain't see Law Dog leave. He left.
I ain't see that. But see, I think that go back to the coaching thing, right? So I was telling like if I'm just keeping it straight, we was talking about Prime and like the revolving door, what he got going on. A lot of people take it as they lost nothing, right? As far as people that actually played. But I'm like, listen, bro, your 2 deep guys is much more than just saying they depth guys. That's the nucleus. That's the nucleus of your team.
Right.
Like, that's what's gonna carry you in these injuries. Not even big injuries, cramps, pulled hammy. I need to go get an IV. You know what I'm saying? Them the players that's gonna carry you through. Them the players that's gonna come in and make the play that this guy wasn't making. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing about it is, at the same time, like when we talk about the Kamani situation, I say people got it. I was an advocate for Kamani just to leave, bro, to go to a school to where you just gonna be a regular guy. Cause that 5-star shit, that shit is big in high school. Once you get, ain't nobody saying what up 5-star unless we playing. That shit a joke. Once you get to college, we not carrying you like you missed the big time. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're doing your thing. So my thing is, what the culture does, or with the guys that leave, them the guys that when the players come on the visit, them the guys that people gonna want to talk to. And how
correct. Tell them,
you know
preach.
like
Preach.
starters, yeah, that's cool. But hey, tell me the real, bro. Because my thing is, Prime, you get a lot of guys that's been at previous programs. So they know. It ain't like a high school guy, which you say you don't recruit, and you not necessarily, they don't know the unknown. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm coming from a Florida State, a Louisville, or whatever the case may be, I'm hip to the game. And you tell me I could transfer again if I wanted to, I'm finna roll. I'm out of here. I'm not finna be played with for what? What I'm getting out of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, like I was saying, like Saban is a guy that had a Kamani, and he worked with him, and he became a freshman, a sophomore, and a junior. So when you get the next Kamani that come in, Saban say, hey, that's you. You remember? Go get with dude and let him know how it go, and let him know how you got here with that process, because then it can carry his way up. You see what I'm saying? But like this is I don't want to even make it about Colorado, but the fan base, this y'all team, this y'all squad, so it's easier to spoon feed you with this opposed to if I would have spoke about another team.
Now,
Hey, what's funny is that you mentioned about how you become that dude, right? You know what I'm saying? That's in college, but it also rolls back to something me and Coach Hayes was talking about once before. And the fact that, man, you know what I'm saying, on that educational tip, bro, you got, I don't like the fact when people campaign for stuff that when they also understand the game and how it works, and you try to act as if people heads are not screwed on right, because that requires some effort. Man, I remember me and my partners, man, we would after we take tests, bro, we look at each other and say, what you got today, man? I say, I made a Troy Aikman. I made an Emmitt Smith. I made a Larry Bird. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Just to let y'all know.
33, huh? You made a 33 to 22 on the test, though?
And an 8.
And an 8. You had a Troy Aikman. You had an 8, though?
That's what we used to do after each test. But, hey, I passed that class, though.
As you should.
I got you. I got you. But I don't want this go long, but Law Dog said something that's really important. Outside of those second stringers and third stringers are the ones that really help you with recruiting, because they traditionally should be the advocates for the team, right? Like, why are you here? You a second stringer, you still here? Be like, yo, bro, I'm getting better. Shoot, I got this dog in front of me. He going to the pros. I'm gonna be ready next year. But another part, we just talking football. The second stringers and the third stringers, that's your scout team, bro. If your scout team is hot garbage and you don't care about what kind of talent you got on that second and third string, you ain't going to get no looks that week. I've been on teams that I promise you, the look we got during the week was harder than the game, where the quarterback or the running back or the lineman gave us more work than the damn game. And we played that team and smacked the hell out of them. And I've also been on teams where there was no depth.
Right. That's how you get practice in the Georgias.
Right. And it was just like, dude, when we got in the game, we like, man, what the hell? They ain't playing like that. They didn't play like that. So for the fan, the undereducated fan, like, your third string and second string does matter. It's built. It's just a team is like a chain link. It's as weak as the weakest link. You can have 1,000 diamond chains, but if one of them chains are made out of wood, that damn chain gonna break. You are as strong as your weakest link, and you don't want any weak ass holes on the team. I'm not talking holes like a stripper. I'm talking holes like as in holes in the ground or something. But yeah. So you know, I just want to piggyback on
Nah,
that.
I want to say this. It's a dude I practice against on scout team. I ain't even want no parts on. I tell dude, hey, go to the other side today, bro.
Do you know he's coming with that smoke?
I'm not on that with you, bro. You tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he the best player I might see all year.
Correct.
Hey, that's where he at. He played for the Eagles now, D-line.
Bruh, who you telling? Who you telling?
Like that. I'm like, I'm cool
I was
on
that
you, young
dude at
fella.
practice.
I'm not trying to. It's not game day for me. They practice.
Right.
So that should be serious, bro. But you know, it's just, you know, hey.
And here's what I'll say to the fans. You talk about the miseducation of fans. They only see first string. They don't realize the importance. Like somebody said, you catch a cramp where you out 3 or 4. You know, you out 3 or 4 plays because the trainer trying to get the cramp out your leg, or you got to get retaped, or they put you in that little pretty Mr. Miyagi tent now for a series. Well, guess what? If there's a big drop off from that first to second guy, that defensive coordinator knows that. That's where he's
run it at him.
Right. If you're on defense, we're gonna run it at you. If you that corner, we're gonna throw it at you. If you that safety, we're gonna scissor route you. If you are O lineman, we're gonna stunt you. So those guys are so important, right? And you can't hide on this field because these guys are good. These coaches are good. And when I say that, meaning they have the research, they've done the legwork, right? And so when you see a fish come in the game, right, you know that. You know, you got a list on your chart, on your thing. You got 5, 6 jersey numbers that you're looking for. As soon as that jersey number come in, it's like, boy, that jackpot hot. Ding, ding, ding. We calling this play because we know that dude can't block it, right? We know this dude can't stop it. We know this dude can't cover it, right? You see a cornerback, he can cover the slant like a mug, but he can't cover the comeback.
Sluggo or the sluggo.
Right? Yeah, but I'm just saying, so when 23 come in the game, we ain't throwing the slant, but we're gonna come back him to death. We're gonna hit him to death. He can't cover it, right? And so they look for these things, but the fan only sees starters, and they don't realize starters get hurt. They do, right? Because something's gonna get nicked up, dinged up, banged up. 300-pound men falling, something's gonna snap, something's gonna break, something's gonna stretch wrong. It's just what it is. That's physics, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You can take a 5-pound weight and drop it on your foot. You couldn't go to work for a week. So what about a 300-pound man?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what and that's the part they don't understand, how important. And it's not about quantity, it's about quality.
Yeah.
See, they think, oh, we got 20 old linemen. Well, how many of them can play?
Yeah. How many of them are just bodies?
Right.
Hey, Coach, Alpha, Coach Hayes, and Law. The first black coach that I truly covered, bro, where I spent money to cover him, right? I ain't making, you know what I'm saying? I out of my own pocket was Kevin Sumlin, right? Y'all have heard me talk about Kevin Sumlin many times.
Right.
And the one thing about him that one big flaw, which I find it honestly disrespectful to the game of football when I hear a man sit up there, I hear a coach sit up in a press conference and talk about what did I lose, as if twos are not that important. Or if I hear fan base talk about the twos ain't important. That man right there, his journey, which he made some mistakes. I get it. He made some mistakes. But his journey, what he was truly trying to achieve is he was trying to get enough talent on the team where he could have good quality practices. Some of the starters were great, but the drop off was so bad, you know what I'm saying, in hearing him speak, which, you know what I'm saying, I'm adding color to it, but he was giving coach speak. And even the assistants, they always were fighting to build up enough talent where they can have quality practices. Mm-hmm. That's what they were fighting for. They needed the depth to compete in the SEC. And he fought that. And I don't think he ever truly obtained the type of talent that he needed to have those type of practices or have that type of depth to get that team to the point where he wanted them to be. He didn't have what Jimbo did, which is a testament to Jimbo. But over and over, first year, second year, it was always trying to achieve depth. And so when I hear people say you're not losing anything, it makes me wonder, what are you watching? I don't think they truly understand how important it is.
I hate to say this, that I think a lot of them, I think sometimes we give people less credit than they deserve when we got to give them, in the sense they understand, it just doesn't fit the narrative, right? They don't want to be honest and simply say they know what they lost. But that's what fans come in, fandom, fanatic. They know, because we all know the difference, right? We all know the difference. I don't care who your starting quarterback is for your favorite team. If he go down, boy, the engine in that Ferrari ain't the same, dog. You understand what I'm saying? It's just what it is. If that starting left tackle goes down, guess what? This other dude better be about some business. And that's just what it is. But, I mean, we could talk about fandom until we blue in the face. And then some people going to watch this and be like, y'all idiots, shut up. And it's going to be some people, you're going to open your eyes like, dang, coach, I ain't think about it. Dang, Alfred, you make a good point. Dog, Law, I ain't thinking of it like that from you coming from a player perspective. Raw, you know what, that makes sense. Those are people that have an open mind and can understand constructive criticism, right? And then you got some people, you can't tell them nothing, and that's just what it is. And that's okay too, man. You know?
Yeah, that's okay too, bro. Oh my God. Hey, I think Kevin Sumlin would have sold his soul for defensive lineman. I think he would have sold his soul, bro. They was on that when he first got, bro, well, his second year, bro, he was on that conversion tip, turning people into defensive linemen. Matabike, for the
Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens. Matabike, he was originally a defensive end. You know, put the weight on to make him a defensive tackle. Bro, that's what they were doing, man, trying to build up so they can compete in that league. You know what I'm saying? So they can swap out defensive tackles. Linebackers was terrible, bro. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go down this spiel, but it's just that I find it amazing, right? When I hear people talk like that, I'm like, man, y'all must not be paying attention to what's really going on out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, I think how's Miami? How's they depth? Miami, is they depth okay?
Hey, man, man, don't worry about us.
See, he beat me to it, straight to the natty, man. Next, what's the next question?
This shit, we got the best quarterback in the nation.
In the nation, shaking the whole team. Talking about red shirt. He got a red shirt. He got on a red shirt because it's camp day. Talking about red shirt.
What are you talking about, Coach? Nation.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but listen, I say this would be it for me. We lost a lot. Like, we had a lot of lead. Like, Najee Kelly, coach. Come on, homie, what you doing?
Yeah.
We got food out there for you to go eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's plenty out there.
Yeah, but I guess, Cyrus Moss, I'm coming like old that boy old Prime. We ain't losing that. Cyrus Moss, holler at you. You know what I'm talking about?
That boy still swinging around in the portal. He ain't landed yet.
Yeah.
Y'all want him back. Don't act like you don't.
Nah, I'll take Kelly.
Huh?
I'll take Najee Kelly. That's it.
I'll take Najee Kelly back.
Yeah, everybody
we're going to get Damian Martinez and Omarion Hampton from UNC.
Hey, Coach, you see
tomorrow. It's over, dog.
UCF offer JB?
Oh, good. I think that's an awesome fit for him, dog. I think it's a great fit for him. Matter of fact, KJ just got arrested, unfortunately, from some year ago incident, which is absurd. But I don't know about these shorties and these speeding cars. I mean, I get it, dog. But But anyway, I think that would be a good fit for him. Gus Malzahn likes those kind of offensive quarterbacks. I think he has a better arm than KJ Jefferson overall. KJ has a little bit more experience, but athlete, definitely faster. I'll just say this: if he goes to UCF and KJ Jefferson break a shoelace, you might not see him again. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm saying.
Well, since we on that, it's just hey, never mind. I'll talk about it on the show. But yeah, I got you. All right, anything else, Alpha? Anything else you want to kind of cover on here, bro?
No, man, I think it's time to kind of let the people in. Open up that link, let them come on in. They can talk about their experience. They can ask us some questions. I appreciate Coach Hayes for joining us. I know you got to get ready to rock and roll. My boy Law Dog and Rawhide, y'all never fail to, make this shit fun just to do with y'all. But let's get it rocking, y'all. Let's get it rocking. Anybody got any last words about anything?
Yeah, Coach. Let us know what you got going on, Coach. Come on.
Oh man, y'all catch it at Coach Hayes Football. Y'all see the little ugly logo right there. If you see that, that's the bat signal. Come check me out. We do all type of different stuff, but I'm tired of playing with the pupils in the back. Let me get back to driving, dog. Let me go back and drive the bus. Y'all stay back in the back of the bus. I'm that cool bus driver. But what you doing back there with the Marlboros, boy? Let me see one of the Marlboros, boy. You had that cool bus driver back in the day.
Hey, they don't even remember that. They could do that back in the day.
Back in the day, dog. People used to smoke on the school bus,
They
dog.
do
You was
that,
18.
bro.
You was in high school. If you was 18, they used to have a smoking section, dog.
Bro, you can do that, bro.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
Hey, Law, my bad. I know you're a little young, dog. They had that. They had
that for me, man. So I would have told you, hey, listen, you want to smoke? Ain't no room in the front, man. Go to the back.
All right, then, guys.
I'll just say this, man. On a serious note, guys, I love this concept. It's a great concept. Don't let it die. Keep it alive. Y'all some cool brothers, got cool concept. And the best thing about it, y'all coming from all different angles. You know what I'm saying? From playing to coaching to all those different type of things, man. So keep it up, man. Keep grinding it out. I definitely can see this as being a success, man. And everybody out there, man, support. Hit the like, share, subscribe button, man, to blow this thing up. And them boys on the back of the bus. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep. Yeah.
All right, then, man.
All right, have a good one. All right, let's